From the patient files of Dr. Jeremiah Arkham, director
Who gave you permission to speak, mortal?
Well,
Silence, or I shall smite ye down with my power of thunder. You will speak only when I say so. All right, you may speak, mortal.
Right. Thank you. From the patient files of Dr. Jeremiah Arkham, director of Arkham Asylum. Patient, Maximilian Zeus. Patient suffers from narcissistic personality disorder, delusions, and delusions of grandeur. His delusions mainly involve believing himself to be the reincarnation of Zeus, the god from ancient Greek religions.
Mortal, did I just hear you say I believe I am Zeus, god of gods?
Yes?
The insolence! Believe! I am Zeus, of course. Isn't that obvious? Why, I would incinerate you with a bolt of lightning. If only it wasn't for this infernal straitjacket.
Session 1. So, Maxie, tell me how you're feeling today.
Maxie? It's Zeus, you insolent fool. You really are trying my patience, mortal.
And you're trying mine.
What?
Nothing. So, you were brought here a week ago by the Batman.
A spawn of Hades, that foul bat demon is.
Is that so?
Aye, he must have been sent by my brother to destroy me. My brother, Hades, is always trying to kill me. We don't get along very well.
I see. And your brother, Hades, where is he now?
In Hades, of course, idiot. The underworld. Where else would he be?
Right, of course. So, as I was saying, you were brought here by the Batman, after he busted your drug operation. You ran a vast criminal empire here in Gotham, believe it or not, mainly based on the production and sale of a designer drug.
Drug? Are you referring to my elixir of the gods, Euphorus?
Euphorus, yes, that's what it's called. A drug that induces vivid hallucinations and a general sense of euphoric well-being. Quite a thing. So like hotcakes, I'm led to believe.
Aye, Zeus knows what the people crave, and Zeus is a caring and giving god, so he grants it to them.
But not for free, of course.
Even gods have bills to pay.
And what about the addiction Euphorus creates in its users? I am led to believe once one is hooked, one cannot stop craving it.
Ha 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 ha! Isn't that the case with all pleasures in life? Wine, sex, even something as simple as chocolate? This city is miserable, mortal. People are suffering. I am merely trying to cheer them up a bit, as best I can.
With drugs?
Elixir of the gods. What about that filth that fiend in a mask peddles? Absolutely disgusting. Instead of cheering people up, his concoctions makes them more miserable, turns them into depraved deviants. I've seen it with my own eyes, and it is abhorring.
Mask? Black Mask? Are you referring to Roman Sionis?
Aye, go pick on him instead. He deserves it. He is here. I saw him in the hallway.
I will, once it's his turn. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? There's not much in these files. Tell me, when did you first start believing you are a god?
Believing?
Let me rephrase that. When did you first realize you were a god?
Well, believe it or not, mortal, there was a time when I was clueless to my great destiny. I once thought I was a simple mortal man like yourself. I was always interested in Greek history and ancient Greek mythology. It was my passion, you could say. I studied it in college and fully intended to become a professor myself on the subject.
And why didn't you?
Don't interrupt me, peasant. I know as a devoted subject you are most eager to hear my tale, but I'm getting there. As I was saying, my goal was to teach, but then I realized I had a far greater destiny set ahead for me. I was in Washington, D.C. at the time, visiting a museum that was holding a Greek history exhibit. Then, suddenly, a figure came crashing through the wall. At first, I had no idea who or what this figure was, but then I got a good look at him. It was the god of war himself, Ares, in person, my son.
Excuse me, O mighty Zeus, but you're a son? There are no records of you having any sons.
I have 12 sons and many more daughters. Now, as I was saying before you interrupted me yet again, there I was in the museum admiring relics of ancient Greece when Ares came bursting through the wall. Then a second figure appeared, coming through the hole Ares made. It was one of my daughters, Princess Diana.
Who?
Yes, you probably know her better as Wonder Woman. Anyway, my 2 children began to fight right before my very eyes. Apparently Ares was after one of the relics in the museum. It was to grant him more powers. He always was a power-mad one, that son of mine. Anyway, that is when I realized it. Witnessing these amazing, powerful beings, I realized I was one of them too. I was Zeus, my namesake, the god of the sky and thunder, the greatest god of them all. I then built Mount Olympus here in Gotham and made it my mission to bring bliss to the masses, like a good god would.
By Mount Olympus, I assume you're referring to your nightclub, the affront for your criminal activities.
Criminal activities? Criminal? Here I bring happiness and joy to the people, and you have the gall to accuse me of being a criminal. That's it. I've had it with you, you supposed doctor. You're going to get it now. Thunder and lightning, heed my call and smite this pitiful man down where he sits. It's this blasted straitjacket. What have you bound it with? Magics? Whatever it is, it's nullifying my powers.
It's just a straitjacket, Maxie.
Confounded.
I find your story very interesting, though, Maxie. Our world is becoming stranger and stranger every day. We've now been forced to accept the actual existence of literal gods. Whoever would have thought these figures of mythology, these figures we learnt about in school, were real? It's astounding, really. How is one supposed to react to such revelations? It's no surprise at all that some people, less stable people, shall we say, snaps. I'll admit, I myself sometimes feel overwhelmed at the
Be
thought—
quiet, mortal. I've grown bored with this conversation.
What? You can't. Now hold on a minute here. You can't just—
Confounded. How do you... Door, I command you to open.